call, everybody.
Cynthia, Liz,
Nathaniel,
Corinne, Heather.
Alrighty, guys, so here we are, belatedly about 6 months after our trip, but it has been a whirlwind. Raise your hand if you've done 2 productions since you've gotten back into town. Raise your hands if you've done 3 productions since you've been back in town, between Deadly Medley or the Christmas show. Raise your hand if you've done 4 productions since you've been back in town.
Stop making me count, kid.
Yeah, we've been busy, all right?
Does God go count?
That hasn't even started yet.
I'm not even
Okay.
officially in the show. So full.
All righty. So, Cynthia, let's start with you. Looking back now and having all the experiences since the trip, what stands out in your mind?
About the trip.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that our school, just one school, just got picked to go overseas, and it's special because I feel like we don't really get enough to do that kind of stuff. And going over there was amazing, and it was just it opened my views for a lot of different cultures, and to know that there are a lot of people out there like us.
True. Would anybody say they made some friends while they were there?
Yes.
I met some really cool Canadians.
Yes.
Boys or girls?
Girls.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Met though.
I met one guy.
I met some people from Alaska, and they were nice.
Alaska?
I met fellow Kansans who were awesome too.
That's true. That's true.
You know,
And we've been invited to some of the shows
from Missouri. Yeah, Winnetonka.
that we've been unable to attend. How many of you are still Facebook friends from people you met there? Everybody.
Me and Nathaniel still Snapchat now.
What would you say has changed in your life? Maybe not directly because of the trip, or perhaps been influenced because you were part of that trip.
Probably the importance I place on acting, because before the trip it was kind of like academics and baseball, and acting was kind of low, but now acting's at the top. So.
You've had some major roles since then too. Cool. Anybody want to add to that?
Going international has been a big help because now I know what it's like in other countries, so now I can kind of back be like, yeah, I went to Scotland, but I don't do that all the time. But it also helps to get that knowledge of other cultures aside from America and have it firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
And that you get to see so many other people do the same thing that you do, and it gives you more of an insight on how you're going to be as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
It lets you see more, so you can be like, hey, they did this, I'll see if this works for me. If it doesn't, oh well, but it broadens your acting experience.
And it was nice
Okay.
to see how normal the other kids seemed, even though they came from like really rich
They weren't
schools.
stuck up.
And yeah, they
They were
weren't
really,
as
really nice.
stuck up, but it's like, ooh.
It was nice to have that change where everyone was like you and not against you.
Yeah.
Like, I really like that.
Sure.
Because they're like, oh, I'm a theater nerd too. We can freak out about it. Instead of someone being like, oh, you like theater? Like,
Why are you so weird?
yeah.
You've been strangely quiet, Liz. Is there anything you'd like to tell the wonderful person who helped with the money for this trip?
I would thank her because she basically helped us at the last minute and made me cry. And she basically made it to where Highland Park isn't the down school and to be anymore.
True.
Yeah.
True.
More people think highly of us now.
In terms of opening your eyes, you guys mentioned several of you mentioned that the rich kids didn't seem so stuck up, or other people seemed normal because you were all doing the same things. Do you think that that is bleeding into the rest of your personal lives? Are you maybe being a little more open to other people, or?
I'm definitely more open-minded when it comes to those kind of people, because I honestly used to set this stereotype in my mind where
you
they're
say-
like all stuck up and snooty, but
So when you say those kind of people, you're talking about people who maybe have more money than we're finding on the east side of town?
yeah.
All right. How about the idea that anybody that you haven't met yet, do you think maybe you give them more of a...
Of a chance? Yeah, most definitely.
For me, it just kind of justified us in our position, because I didn't really think so much as that, but more so that because we're at more of a disadvantage economically, and so I always thought that our shows would suffer more, and a lot of our other things would always suffer more because of that. So it was nice seeing some of the other shows and being like, hey, I know these people have a lot more money than we do, and they like our show, and their show reminds me of our show, and it kind of justified it rather than just like, yeah, we're poor, our shows are probably gonna suck.
Yeah.
Instead, it was like, wow, our show's actually funny.
What else has been going on in your lives? What kind of classes have you been taking? What else has been going on? Any jobs anybody's had? Anything new anyone's done? Just to let them know that we didn't forget about them. We've just
been busy.
Physics is going to be the death of me.
Hashtag junior year. Woo.
The AP English class, it's a college class technically. Family stuff happened, so that kept me busy.
I took the ACT.
cool.
And what'd you get on it?
Really high score.
Actually, you got a very nice score, as I recall.
I got my driver's license.
It's true.
Let's see, we got ACT prep, we got driving stuff, we got family things that always happen. We have all of us,
And a
I wanna
senior.
say.
Yeah. And a senior.
All of us taking AP classes.
I'm not taking
Okay, the three of us taking AP
And
classes.
Cindy.
And the very talented newspaper and other activities
staff.
coordinator.
Right. Right.
We have other activities that we're keeping up besides theater that I know all
Baseball.
of us. Baseball.
Yeah. So I wanted, and I think this is something that our benefactors understood beforehand, but things haven't slowed down at all for you. We've got 4 juniors. We've got 1 senior. One of the juniors is head out because she's got family stuff going on. Our other 2 members are both in college, and they've got college stuff going on. All right. But we never forgot, do we?
We love you guys a lot. Like, it means a lot, and we just appreciate you so much.